Sexplosion is on.
I will show you while the program going on, you could just ball how much you want to ball.
The country's most
But here is
sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday.
first time I had somebody, I'm so stupid.
So you're not, you don't know,
With Dr. Raj
First time somebody had me stupid.
Sex in the Caribbean.
She Trini?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I Indian.
Look at that B-boy.
I Indian.
Tune in for discussion on
So yeah,
She a singer or what?
yes, she a singer. A big one too.
Yeah.
empowering you.
Yes, man.
Wow. Nice, man. Well, I know you make your contact already.
Long time.
Brother.
Which version is this?
This is the original version.
Not the one that we played yesterday.
No. I sticking with this one. But
I like that version.
that it is a nice instrumental version as well.
Oh yes.
I like that the commercial. We scarcely have answers.
Good.
Yeah, we scarcely have that. Let's do it.
Last night we had plenty.
Okay, we coming in. Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102.1 FM on a very special nighttime. Greetings to you. Special thanks as always to 9 Miles International for the last couple of hours. Well, bringing our time to 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with the only sexologist and the guru of sex education in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. And there he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And a very special nighttime greetings to you, my brother. How are you today?
Fine, pleasant good evening to you, to all the listeners, all the viewers, for those of you on social media, those of you listening to us on radio. Theater of the Mind,
Yes.
we're on with Sexplosion, and I'm happy to be here tonight.
Well, I'm
Although
happy
I
to
am
see you.
exhausted.
I am happy to see you.
I am exhausted.
Well, first and foremost, I must say congratulations on the victory that you had this case pending for quite some time now, as a matter of fact, a couple of years well. And it's nice
Well,
to
it's
know
2
that.
years, almost 2 years since the seizure took place.
Yeah.
But I really don't know how systems operate. At times, you know, you wonder, because it's a straightforward thing. You see something, you're supposed to take me to court.
Right. Well, you know
And
it,
if you believe that you're right, and I believe I am right, somebody have to determine who is right. And that wasn't done, and we had to take it to the High Court. Although, you know, the funny thing about it, this matter is at the High Court, and it's being tried at the Magistrate Court too.
Oh, okay.
So there was postponement, of course, at the Magistrate Court, because a High Court matter supersedes Magistrate Court matter. But I can't talk about that part of it. What I could talk about is, first of all, I have to thank Devan Maharaj. I mean, no matter what one may think about Devan Maharaj, he's a true friend, and he's my friend. And upon learning of my predicament with customs, he reached out to me and he said, Raj, I will put together a team for you and take it from there.
Yeah.
And he's the one who was instrumental in me getting in touch with these guys at Fortress Chambers, Jagdev Singh, Kyle Taklal Singh, and Mr. Rambali and Karina Singh. And they took up the case and they said, well, we are going to take this to the highest that it goes. Where if it has to go to the Privy Council, we are going to the Privy Council, because it's about time some determination takes place. And you know, they told me to be in court today, because judgment is being given today, would you believe the guy who did the charges almost 2 years ago file an affidavit 2 days ago to have this thing postponed? Madness.
Yes, but what was the given reason behind it?
He just
Oh,
filed it. There was
just
no
a file.
reason. It was just, let's see how we could delay this thing.
Oh,
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right? And I think the magistrate was a bit, not magistrate, the judge was a bit upset about that. But at the end of the day, judgment was given. And, you know, unfortunately, my lawyer who I had before was a waste of time. And he didn't do the right things. And if had he done the right things, I would have had 100% victory. Total victory.
Yeah.
But we still had victory. And, you know, they were told to give me back my goods, and cost and whatnot would be determined. A percentage of that, 75% of that will be paid. But the fact of the matter is that we have won.
Well,
And
that's the
Jagdev
bottom line.
Singh is notorious for winning against customs. Fortis State Chambers are notorious for doing that. So hats off to the team. I'm very thankful for what they have done. I'm thankful for the persons who have supported me throughout this ordeal, because it is an ordeal. Every time you have to face customs, it's not a nice thing. It is not a nice thing. Customs, you get the feelings with customs that you are some hardened criminal when you do something wrong.
Yes.
And there is a kind of antagonistic kind of way at times. There are some officers who are very nice. There are some officers who, you know, despite the fact that this is going on and whatnot, they still treat you good. But when you have to meet up with certain officers or you see things happening in a particular way, I have no animosity towards customs. Customs have their duty to do, but I think if you have archaic laws, it have to change. If you have laws that are not to the benefit of society, especially a developing society, a society that has moved forward. And let's face it, Trinidad and Tobago has moved forward. We are not a first world country, but we are not a bad third world country. And people thinking and behavior and whatnot has evolved over the years. And you cannot be applying laws that were made in 18-something and whatnot to today's circumstance. You have to look at that, and you have to, I know they don't change the laws, but they can make recommendations to have laws changed.
Well, yes, they could make some.
Of course.
Time passes by.
You can't tell me that I am the person in charge of the studio, and I cannot go to the bosses and say, here, what we need that television move from there to there. You can't tell me that. They could make recommendations because they've seen the trend and they've seen what's happening. So recommendation can be made to the legislative bodies to have things change. And with my victory here, well, not my victory. I don't want to say my victory because I don't feel that victorious. I know it was a collaborative effort, and I know it was something that was worked on by the powerful teams of lawyers. But I don't feel that happy, you know.
You don't. So, in other words, what you're telling me is that you don't want to make it a personal victory.
I don't take it as a personal victory.
It
No,
was basically a team effort.
it is a team effort. Devan Maharaj and the Fortress Chambers and Shiva Govind, who is always on the program and looking at the program and whatnot, they have been helpful in this victory. But you know, I didn't feel that sense of victory. One, because I think that I shouldn't have been made to go through this.
Yeah.
Two, now I have always been a pioneer in this field, and there are persons who are going to piggyback on my success who have not even contributed 1 cent. And I mean, before cent became, what's the word for it? Not in use anymore. Nobody come and say, Raj, look, a cent
Yes.
for your legal fees. Like that, persons who are involved in the business, and those hypocrites who are out there with stores and whatnot, you all are bloody hypocrites. But again, like everything else, they will get what they have coming, because I strongly believe in karma. I do strongly believe in that. So I leave them alone. But now they're going to piggyback on my victory, and there are persons out there who are going to want to establish themselves. But a pioneer is a pioneer, and a person who's in front, you have to play catch up.
Well, of course, yes.
And I want to remind the viewers and listeners out there that I am the one that started this whole revolution about sex in Trinidad and Tobago many years ago. Power 102 is very instrumental in that. That's why I sent out a release to Power 102, and I told them that this should be on our news program. I hope they put it on the news because I didn't get to listen. I don't know if it was done, but the first person I decided, after calling my wife and telling her about the victory, there were others that I called, other people that I called who was important, Devan Maharaj and others. And then I contacted Power 102 with the information. Because Power 102 has always been at the forefront of adult education, like you were saying last night. Here we have a sex program, after that we have a gospel program. But I have never had a major hindrance or any sort of confrontation with Power 102. There were one or two persons in Power 102 working for Power 102 who didn't like the program and didn't like me. But that's a personal thing.
Well, of course, yeah.
Right, and if they think that way, that's their business. That's not my business. It doesn't bother me. I'm not here to make friends. I don't want friends.
You come here basically to do a job.
I come here to do a job. But one of the things I must say is Power 102 has been supportive of Dr. Raj, Giriraj Ranan, and before I became Dr. Raj, and the program SEXPLOSION and other programs that we have had. So that's something to be thankful for. And even with the Express did something on social media, and they put a picture of me when I was doing the G-Spot at Express, so I'm very thankful for that. At least I was not forgotten, because there are lots of pioneering efforts that I did. You know, sometimes people meet you and they, sometimes in a derogatory way, they say, you're no longer on TV, and I'm like, no, I don't like TV. So what you're doing now, it's like, you know, you are failed. So what you're doing now, if I want to be on TV, I could be on TV in the morning. Excuse me. A lot of people don't know that. I have had many offers to be on television. I could have still done my program at Synergy TV and whatnot, but I prefer not to be on TV. I like radio. There's too much effort and time and whatnot that goes into television production. First of all, you have to put on makeup to go on in front of camera. I don't like doing that. I like being natural. I like being who I am. And I like radio. I love being here. I look forward to coming and doing a program here, connecting with my listeners and viewers and having them. As a matter of fact, there was a time when we became Radio You Can Watch. For years, I never allowed my
basically, what you used to do was you used
block
to
off the camera.
Block off the camera.
For 2 or 3 years, I blocked off the camera. I said, I'm not here to be on television. Until someone pointed out to me the importance of social media, and that's when I decided, okay, well, I might as well do something with Facebook, and I might as well leave the camera up and do a program that comes about live. But I'm not about that. I don't care to be in front of a camera. I don't care for that. It's not important to me. I mean, people recognize me wherever I go. The other day, I stopped to buy some eggs in Davie, and a guy pulled up behind me, and the minute I spun around, he was like, Dr. Raj. I'm like, yes, good afternoon, how are you doing? And I get recognized anywhere I go. I don't need recognition. As a matter of fact, sometimes recognition takes away from your privacy.
Yes, it does.
It does.
It does.
But I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm thankful that the viewers out there and my fans out there always see me and whatnot. But one of the strength that I get is from the viewers. That's why sometimes, and the listeners, that's why sometimes I ask them, I plead with them, send me a question, interact with me, connect with me, because when you do, it gives me a strength in the studio. And that's why I ask for that. It is something that is uplifting and very powerful. I don't consider myself to be a one-man show and the person who is so important that I have to be here preaching to persons, you know. If I wanted to be a pastor or priest, I could do that, you know. As a matter of fact, I tell people if I wanted to rip off people, the first thing I'll do is open a church. Because that's the biggest rip off in the world. If you want to become rich and rip off people, open a church. And if I could get you to convert and change your religion, I could get you to take out your drawers. Easy as that. Because if you believe in me so much, I could get you to do anything. But that's not me. It's not me. And last night, Aisha asked me a question about, you know, there's this fallacy among people, if you have to be born a Hindu to be a Hindu. And when you're born a Hindu, you are a Hindu, right? But you could be a Catholic and follow the ways of Hinduism and be a Catholic Hindu, but there's no conversion. We cannot convert you from a Catholic into a Hindu.
Yeah.
That's impossible. And that's what persons don't understand. When a Christian person talks to you, they say they're born again, or they have been converted from something else into Christianity. There's no such things with Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism. There's absolutely no conversion. So you still have your Catholic ways and your Catholic belief, and you could still believe in Hinduism. You can still be of the belief in Islam and Islamic principles and whatnot, but be a Hindu too. It's the only all-inclusive religion there is. And a lot of people can't wrap their heads around that. And that is what irks them to the infinitum, because they realize that here you have something that doesn't ask you to convert. Others will ask you to convert.
Yes, well,
In the
yes.
Mughal times, they came with the Quran in the sand and the sword in the sand. And there were a lot of coward Hindus who converted, and they're living here now under Islam, but they were Hindus at one time. Their forefathers were Hindus. Full stop. And whether they like it or not, I'm not insulting anybody or anything, but they have to understand their heritage. There isn't one person who's a Islam who wasn't something before, who follows Islam. And they have to understand that. That is just telling the truth. But what happens? The truth offends. The truth offends a lot of people, you know. They cannot handle the truth. And we call them cowards because they are the ones who were forced to convert, and they converted. Because my grandfathers and great-grandfathers went through the same thing, but they never converted. They stood up and fight. They weren't cowards.
They stood their ground.
They stood their ground. And I always give the story of my grandfather coming to Trinidad, and it was only afterwards I realized it was his father-in-law who asked him to change from Sanatan Dharma into Kabir Panth, which is a branch of Hinduism. And he said him, no. He said, God sent me here as a Sanatanist, and I'm going back to him as a Sanatanist, full stop. I'm not weak. I'm not going to change. Don't ask me to. And I think that strengthened conviction, because he was a Singh, Tilak Singh. My grandfather was a Singh. We are from that Kshatriya tribe. My title not supposed to be Ramnanan, it's supposed to be Singh. And we know that. And we hold on to that. We don't have to have the title or the Singh after our name, but we hold on to that Kshatriya way of life. We do that. But we don't discriminate against anyone. In our home, we don't do that. Our parents never taught us like that.
You was never brought up like
We
that.
were never brought up like that. I went to a Presbyterian school. I sang at the manse. You know, I played mass. I do everything. We were never told that you're forbidden from doing anything. And because of that, it helped me in sexology later on to understand life, to understand people, to understand behavior. So, even when you have a situation in law, or you have a situation like police officers, I don't have a problem if a police officer stopped me and asked me for my registration and license. As a matter of fact, if I'm speeding and a policeman stopped me for speeding, I feel I'm going to argue with him. Go ahead, write your ticket, you do what you have to do, and I go and pay my fine. I'm not going to contest the fine.
Yes.
Because if you say I was speeding, I'm not going to argue and say I wasn't speeding. You're the law. You're the representation of the law.
And you will know personally if you was good.
No, well, apart from that, but what I'm saying is, though, there are some persons who want to argue and say, boy, why are you go after bandit and whatnot? But that is part of being lawless. That is part of breaking the law.
That's the first thing will come to mind, though.
I think that is petty. I think that is petty. If you cannot afford to pay the fine, don't break it. Just don't. Don't do those things. So, you know, all these things have molded me into who I am. I get angry. There are things that piss me off. There are things that I don't like. For example, I don't like the fact that not a single person from the government went to Kali Bay and comforted the families of those 8 men, 4 of who's pronounced dead and 3 missing and 1 survived. Regardless of what it is, these are families. I am pissed off about that. You have a government that is not caring about the people in this country. I am sure if something like that should happen in the West, and this is where the biasness comes in. If one person, I remember the Minister of National Security saying he couldn't sleep when Raymond Chukron was murdered. Could you sleep when 8 people were asked to jump in the sea? Can you sleep? I'm asking that question. I know I couldn't. I know I was sitting there like, how could people do people that? That is a nasty, stinking, dirty thing to do, regardless of what it is. You know, there's no branch in the sea, eh?
No.
There's no branch in the sea. There's nothing to hold on to you. So when you hear these things and
we're not speaking in terms of near land, eh?
No, this is out in the sea. This is out in the sea. I mean, the one guy who survived, he needed a medal, boy. He have extraordinary strength to survive that.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if you're chopped and thrown in the sea, you're not going to survive.
No.
So these are the things that affect society. But you know what have me also kind of upset? I'm not hearing enough of people saying that this is wrong. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing people calling up the radio stations and television stations and saying, here, what this is wrong.
Well, I think one of the reasons for that, one of the main reasons, is that you have so many things happening in a show.
Junior, no. I play cards.
So.
I play cards. Ace trumps everything. Ace trumps everything. And that is a ace. Ace trumps everything. So that is a ace in my book.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that there are too many things happening. Okay, if there are so many things happening, you can't jump in a car and go around there for showmanship self.
Well, that part I...
Tell me why. Tell me why. Is it because they're East Indians? I'm asking the question because that is what it looks like to me. Is it because they're poor fishermen? Is it because it is in a opposition constituency? Why? Why? I ask the question why, and more people have to ask why. We are commentators, we are social commentators, regardless of if we talk about sex. And I know I might get a letter in the morning and say, well, you're doing a sex program, and why are you talking about politics? But it affects me. It affects me, and whoever vexed about it, the hell was with them. And I want to know if somebody sends me a letter, I want to see a name of who vexed about it. The same way when I made a comment once when we were upstairs, and I get pulled into a room and asked a question about it. Now I want to know who the hell asked any question. Because I want to know what you're doing about it. And I see people on the radio station here defending stupidity like that. I see that this morning. Not a government minister, not one person in authority went down there. 4 days now, mister. And nobody's saying, and they don't see how wrong that is. Don't they see how wrong that is? Let's take a break.
Anyway, folks, taking our turn, 25 minutes, that should be 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with Sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out at St. Augustine. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Let me run quick to see if that...
Yeah, before you have to put out your hand.
Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
The event of the summer is here. Kids Jamboree 2019, featuring your favorite superheroes and champions. This is the super-powered kids concert of the summer. Introducing Viola Nile.
Anybody love soca music in your make some noise?
And her full band.
Night on me, come and dance with me at the Kids Jamboree.
Super Second. Five-star kill.
I told you that. They must have found it.
She left it upstairs, or what?
Eh?
She left it upstairs.
No, it's been just they found it and took it upstairs.
Uh-huh.
The incredible Island Boy, Pretty. Joy is Sharon.
You know my superpower is to bring love, laughter, joy, peace. Okay.
Kids Jamboree 2019, Sunday, 4th August, at the ML Ballpark, Center of Excellence, McCoy. Superheroes and champions. The fun and vibes is coming. Sponsored by Sunshine Cereals, Dairy, The Milky Milk, Blue Waters, Tea Time,
Tampico, go discover the flavors of fun.
Fats International, Cons Bike Show, and the Any1 mobile app.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
We are all in this together.
Let's do this with Shelley Wilson on Power 102, empowering you.
Well, I can tell you that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Every Thursday and Friday evenings, right here on Power 102 FM, Sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center. Well, may I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Sexologist Dr. Raj. I'm going to give you a couple of numbers for those of you who would love to chat with him via the telephone. Feel free. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Now, for those of you who would love to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that deals with sex, love, and relationships exclusively on Power 102 FM. Your number one all around the station when it comes to talk and music. Yeah.
Junior, remember many years ago there was a young lady called
Yeah.
Is back.
After so many
Am
years.
is back after so many years, and you
Wow.
will not believe the beautiful, beautiful, sexy pictures I am getting of her. She is still gorgeous like hell.
That's almost over 10 years ago.
Wow, my God.
So you see when you
And her
miss
mommy
someone,
looks
her mommy looks
fantastic
good.
still.
Her mommy looks good too.
Her mommy looks well. I know her mother, I know her
Oh,
sister.
you know? Okay.
Her sister has all grown up. I know her when she was a little girl, and she's
little-
all grown up now.
A little tiny tot.
Well, I wouldn't call her tiny tot,
No,
but she was
growing
a
up.
young teenager, and now she's my God! But arm has you need to wrap your arms. Wow, my darling, thank you very much for the photographs, and I am happy that you are back with us. I hope you stay with us as much as possible. Still, I see you still have the assets, girl. Wow. I have not seen her in such a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a long time. Last time she came by me, she said hello, she just passed by. That was years ago.
Was it?
Do you remember how long that was? Send me a message here. Send me a message here. Izzy's on. Thank you very much, Izzy, for your compliment.
Nice. What she sent you? What she gave you? She sent you a compliment?
Where's that?
She sent you.
Yes, she sent me a compliment,
She
and
sent
I
you a
see
compliment.
Shakira is on also. The answer to your question is yes, I did, but I was waiting for you. That's all. I think the lady needs to respond before the guy responds. The lady's always first, right?
Well, of course. Yeah.
Well, right. I thought the lady was supposed to respond.
The ladies usually
And
set the
yeah,
pace.
they said this. You're supposed to set the pace, not me. So,
Make your move.
well, I was expecting that a few days now, but she did not. So I say,
She
well,
didn't.
it's.
Well, maybe she's saving it up
Saving what? For when?
for a visit.
for a visit.
You know, they always say absent, but you should.
This
be,
has nothing to do with being absent. No, it's
No.
not nothing to do with
No,
absent.
they say
maybe has-
absent makes the heart go fonder.
No, this
When
has
you-
nothing to do with being absent or being anything like that.
When you haven't seen someone for a long time. and
No,
you
no,
see-
no, 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 no. This has to do with a particular situation where a person supposed to say, thank you.
Okay.
You're supposed to say something.
So I was putting.
Oh, I like.
Oh,
Oh, I like.
I loved.
Oh, I loved.
Which is
Right, something like that.
Something
That-
which is happening past tense, right?
It is not. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. You
Oh.
see, don't misjudge the situation.
Yeah. Okay.
And sexy sad is looking so beautiful tonight.
She is.
I wonder why. She's looking exceptionally beautiful tonight. Thank you for that lovely photograph of yourself. I mean,
What she's carrying
it's
that
something. It's something that I could go to sleep with tonight. That beauty. When I look at that beauty, I will just be like,
No, but if it's, if it's something, you could go to bed.
yeah. Well, tonight that's the last thing I want to sleep before I fall asleep. Yeah. You know, if you want she said it was 2 to 3 years ago. Wow.
2 to 3.
I hope you check me, girl, because I might disappear one day when you come to check and it'll be 0, you know. So when you're checking someone, you have to say 1.
That's correct.
So when you come and say, you come to check me and I'm not there, you say 0.
This is 0, right?
So be careful, darling. I wouldn't like it to be 0 because I would like to just see you in front of me, you know, the visual,
Face-to-face.
the face-to-face,
It gives you
the essence of the person in front of you, the chemistry.
And just
It helps.
certain and veins, the blood start to run through your veins in your body, and your mind start telling you something.
Well, if the
else.
blood stop running through the veins of my body, you're dead, eh?
No, well, it's running at a faster pace.
Yeah, because the heart is pumping more. And
Yeah.
Correct.
But it's not the heart alone, it's pumping. The whole body pumping.
So, you see what you're doing to me? She was such a wonderful friend.
So,
I can't call her friend anymore because I haven't seen her in 3 years.
no, but they don't speak in terms of in past tense.
Well,
No,
she's bringing back memories.
Well, this is the
You remember the bank girl? My friends, whenever they see me, they still ask about what about the bank girl.
the bank.
The bank girl.
Bank girl.
They still ask about the bank girl. And that's something that only she and I knows. And my friends. So when the guys get together on a Wednesday, they say, boy, we are passing for the bank girl, boy. We are passing to check she.
We made a small deposit. Now, some people, you know, when they meet,
You know, the wonderful thing about life is you have moments in life. And I cannot be angry with you for the moments you had prior to me meeting you, right?
well, yeah.
I cannot be angry with
No,
you
of
for that.
course, no. That would be.
And some persons get jealous and angry because of that. You know. There are some couples where the wife will be angry with the husband because he had a past. But everyone has a past. Some men don't like their wives talking to an old fling or old boyfriend or somebody
Yeah, but
because
yeah.
it's a past. But everyone has a past. But when you're having a relationship with someone, let's say you are friends with someone, not in a sexual, you're friends with someone, you might meet and let's say you meet in a pub or a restaurant, and you're buying a drink for her, and she say, well, I like a strawberry daiquiri. So from then on, strawberry daiquiri will mean something between you and the person.
Well, of course.
Because every time you talk about strawberry, yeah, you remember that day we met at the restaurant and we had a strawberry daiquiri, that kind of thing. So it's always special. It will be special to you and that person and no one else. Another person hearing strawberry daiquiri, the first thing they say, well, he was a bartender or he was mixing drinks. But the fact of the matter is that it is something that is special between you and the person.
Oh, yeah.
And that's as far as it goes. So you're building memories. So there were many wonderful memories with and my friends. Oh my God.
Well, but in the meantime, I can tell you that we are giving our listeners what they want and expect from a good radio program when it comes to sex education, exclusively on Power 102 FM, Sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnan and our Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Folks, don't forget our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj at 222-8255 also at 612-8255. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Okay, we're going to go to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Very pleasant to be with Dr. Raj and the family. How are you, sir?
Yeah, family.
Pleasant good evening to you.
I love to listen.
Okay,
Nice.
I'm fine.
Is your partner Moti?
Mr. Moti, sir,
Yes, doctor.
you are a man who call here sounding so down and depressed. You a man normally would call and feeling vibrant, and you just give me energy. I don't like how you're sounding.
I will be listening, doc, and I just hardly get on. So sometimes, like, I have a driver that will want to appreciate what I feel, and I just can't get on. So I just have sometimes listen.
I don't mean that, you know, partner. I don't mean that. I know you are a loyal friend and a loyal listener. What I mean is tonight you're not sounding like yourself.
I like the apple complain. It's like the higher the sky. We need you like flower. You like coconut. You're great. We love you and God bless you. You and your family. I always love you and I always listen to you and I'm loyal to you.
All right, my friend. You take care.
You can't do nothing wrong. We just learn a lot from you. You're eating bug, you're bright, and you're pumpy after you're talking clean.
All right, partner.
That's brother. God bless you and peace to you and your family.
Yeah, family.
Okay.
Okay, big brother.
I know the last time we talked about him was when you bounced him up for Panorama.
Panorama, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right. That's the last time we mentioned him. So that's my good friend, Mr. Moti.
A very nice gentleman.
Very nice
Very,
gentleman,
very
and
friendly.
you wouldn't believe how we became friends.
And I still,
We became friends when I was opening my gym. And from then till now, that was 1985 till now, we are friends. And we have always maintained that friendship and respect for one another.
yeah, I still remember he didn't have me paid for the small.
No, he's that type of person. No,
He
he's
didn't
that
have me
type
paid for
of
the
person.
small
He-
coke when I was at the Panorama.
No,
for
he
the-
is that type of person.
Yeah.
He would not. I mean, although he's running a business, sometimes he will bend backwards for you.
Yeah, nice guy.
He's a
nice
genuine
gentleman.
guy, and there are lots of genuine people like that who have stepped into my life and they remain friends for life.
Well,
We
that's
don't have to
important,
see each
huh?
other for years, and I
That's
can tell you that.
important.
We don't have to see each other for years.
And when you
And
do,
the minute I see him or the minute he sees me, the utmost respect is given.
nice. I like that.
Yes. Once he called me doctor, and I said, if the day you call me doctor again, I'll cuss you out. You know me as Raj, and you know me as Raj. Full stop. My childhood friends, I think I tell them the same thing.
Yeah.
When we have our get-together, our reunions and whatnot, I don't want anybody calling me doctor or anything like that. You are my friend, you know me as Giri, call me Giri. It doesn't take anything away
Okay.
from me
Yeah.
that you will call me that, because that's how you know me. My childhood friends who I grew up with, you think when I go by them and I want them to call me doctor? I don't want that. I want you to call me. I have nicknames in every place I was. Call me by my nickname. That's how I want you to call me. In Biokal, I have a nickname in Biokal, and that will never change.
How many you hit?
No, my nickname in Biokal will never change. And there are certain people in Biokal,
knowing
for every
you.
time they see me,
Yeah.
that's the name they address me by.
Oh, I thought you go to tell me that the minute they see you, they run to you.
No, they will run to me and they'll talk to me, but they'll address me by my nickname.
Yeah. So you established that name.
No, I didn't establish it. I didn't establish it. The name was given to me because of certain characteristics. My neighbor to my nana,
You need-
George, gave me that name, and that name stuck with me since I was a little boy. And
So any area.
if anybody say, call me by my nickname when we are talking, I know they talk to George or they know me from Biokal.
So they got it through.
So if
George.
somebody called me Giri, I know they went to school with me at Northeastern or at primary school at Waiko Presbyterian School.
So you have different levels.
Well, I know. I know exactly where you know me from.
Yeah.
If it is in the US, somebody called me by my nickname over there, I know you went to university with me.
Okay. So what the ladies in Kuka, but
Biokal, the ladies don't call me any particular name because they don't have a name for me.
No,
They
because
just
I
know me
you
as the miserable boy.
Because I know you are.
They just know me as a miserable, wicked boy who was growing up in the area. And I spent 1/3 of my life in Warren Road in Biokal. And I'm a Bukalian.
Because I can just imagine with the expression on your face, and especially with the beautiful ladies they have up there.
Bukal have the most beautiful women.
This is what
My mother is from there.
This is what I'm telling you.
My mother is from Warren Road, Bukal. It's the most beautiful woman on this earth. There's no getting away from that. She was a star girl.
Now, well, if your mother was so good,
that-
I could imagine you make your name in that area.
In Indian wedding,
Yeah.
there's a tradition where persons go and they give to the bride a thali and a lota. There's a plate and something like a cup. My mother, in her wedding, got 108 of those. 108. Listen to what I'm saying, 108 of those, and there were people who came and buy it back to offer it back to her. So which means to say they give her the money, but they have to take the thali and lota and offer it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
They brought back thali and lota by the bag, and then in days thali and lota was heavy. It wasn't the light stuff that they have now.
Yes.
It was one of the biggest wedding ever in Buka.
Well, I
And
could-
she's still remembered for that.
Well, I could imagine if moms were so popular up there.
She was one of the most popular girls
But
in the
I
village.
could imagine, family, how you make your name.
Well, I don't know what you mean by making my name, but
No,
I know
as far as we are meeting young ladies.
not in, you don't understand Bukal village life. You don't. There's nothing like that.
No, there was not.
No, mister. Grandy.
So there was
Grandy, I made my name. Not in Bukal, mister. No. Everybody was a sister where you treat...
so
you-
there was
that was a strict society,
So there
right?
so there was.
When you grow up in Bukal,
Yeah.
you grow up with a different understanding of human life, Totally different, You will not believe that,
This is what made them so different to the ordinary
They,
village or
they were a village that was very tight-knit. So the boys and girls will play, they will go to school together, but you always look out for one another. There was no romantic involvement or nothing like that.
Oh, so everyone used to treat one another like a brother or sister.
To this day, the girl who I grew up with next door to my grandfather,
Yes.
she still sees me anyway, and we will stop and talk. And her husband just leaves us to talk and whatnot, but she is like a younger sister, and it remains like that to the day, because that's how we grew up in that village. And my grandmother house, my grandfather and grandmother house was the meeting point for everyone. So the guys who got locked out of their house and whatnot, they'll come by her and sleep. She will cook for them and whatnot. Well, the girls never got locked out. But all the girls in the village and whatnot, the younger girls will come there and play, and they were safe there. And that's just how you grew up in the village life, and it was wonderful and fantastic. The guys who were living next door became your cousins and family. They became that, Sometimes there's no blood relations.
No,
But
just,
because you're calling their father uncle, or mamu, or kaka, or
that
whatever,
respect.
it was highly respectable. And my grandfather was one of the elders in the village, person who everyone would come for advice and whatnot. So you maintain
So,
that.
in other words, what you're telling me, you really made your name in
Grandy, yeah.
No, I could
Grandy's a
imagine.
different society, groupings and whatnot. You understand it. I would have never understood that if I did not live a portion of my life in Warren, Bukal. If, let's say, for example, I became a sexologist and somebody would have come to me from Cuba that had a similar experience in growing up to Warren,
Yes.
and I grew up entirely in Sangre Grande, and then after that I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, where I went to study. It would have been alien and foreign to me that, how could you grow up like that? That's impossible. All these pretty girls and whatnot, and you never make a thing.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Not in the village of Warren, not at all. You wouldn't. First of all, you would never do anything to bring your grandfather's name into disrepute. You will not step out of the line to do that, sister, because that is shame, and that is shame for the rest of your life, for the family, not for you alone.
You know, but I'll tell you something. That just goes to show, and what you're explaining there to me, how it used to be long ago, where a village used to bring up a child.
Oh yeah. You were brought up by the
But the
village.
yeah, but it's completely different today.
Yes.
Anyway, what we're going to do is go back to the lines. Hello, thank you for holding, and welcome to Sexplosion Nighttime. Just 1 second there.
Hello.
Dr. Raj,
Yes.
I was living with my partner today, right? And I want to find out something from you. I don't know if he's right or if he's wrong, right? But he told me he had sex with a woman, right? And he make she pussy whistle. That could be true. That is not true.
He made her vagina whistle. I don't know what he meant by that, but can't understand how you can make the vagina whistle.
What's that?
I say I don't know what he meant by that, but I don't know how you can make a vagina whistle. The vagina don't blow out. There's no air that comes out of the vagina and blowing out. I mean, if you talk about a perfume, where every time you go into the vagina, there's a sound of there's a whistling or a farting sound that comes out of the vagina. That is something different. That is called a perfume. But if you're talking about the, but if he tells you that the vagina whistle, I will tell him that is far fetched. I will if he tell me that.
Dr. Raj.
Wait, let me finish.
I believe you, know.
Let me finish. If somebody tells me that, I'll say, well, from the thousands of vagina I have seen, I have never seen one whistle. So the one that you have seen whistle, put it on the mantle and print it.
Dr. Raj, that man I do like that one dotish.
Well, I wouldn't call him dotish. Maybe he's trying to impress upon you that he's so good at sex.
That man that I could treat people that way. You don't believe them, no? Me,
Well,
I never believe that.
Well, who will believe that?
Right?
Even women out there who listening to this will be laughing and saying, what if I have a whistling vagina?
That man something wrong with he telling everybody. He say, boy, you ever make a pussy whistle? Right? And everybody laughing at the man.
Well, I will ask him.
I say, how going on, boy? All the listen tonight, I'm going to call Dr. Raj and find out.
Well, I am telling you, I have never heard of that.
Well, I know it's not true, you know.
I have never seen that, and I have seen a lot of vaginas in my life. That is no idle boast. I have seen over 2,000 vaginas in my life.
I can't see that.
I in a way, I try to believe you for that too, eh? Because you know what?
I will give him the benefit of the doubt and tell him, well, here what boy, I will go and look for that woman and put you on a mantle.
He having sex with you, right? And he was just doing.
And the guy echo.
Yeah, so we tried to say that way. Why he was having sex with the Muslim? But he thought he didn't make anything with you.
Well, I think so too. I think he was whistling and the guy echo.
Alright, thanks.
All right, but
Well, thanks a lot for coming.
you know, one of the things that I've found, and that's why I became a sexologist, men have a tendency to say a lot of things that are not true. Because they want to boast and brag to their friends. They want to impress upon their friends that they are so fantastic at whatever they're doing. And they lie like hell. The bottom line is that they lie.
Well, you know, when you're lying in a group, and especially in a bar, you know, you have to... you have
things
to
that you hear in a bar?
You know, even, as a matter of fact, you're not trying to impress the people you're with, but you're trying to impress the people who is even sitting at the bar, who don't belong in the bar.
And you're talking loud for it to hear.
Yeah.
I will tell you something though. Anytime you hear something from a hunter, a fisherman, and a man who drunk in a bar, divided by 25, and then divided further. Because they lie.
And the thing about it, they never give you the down story. They always give you the positive.
Boy, I hear some things from some hunters already. The biggest deer that get away, the deer so big it's taller than me, you know. When I aim the gun, it's only at the foot I aim in, you know. First the deer tall, you know. I hear man catch fish, and I tie it out there and come back, you know. I go to a bigger boat to bring it in, you know.
Unbelievable.
And then they ask them what they tie it on, they can't tell you what they tie it on, you know.
And especially when they have a few drinks inside.
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
Jesus.
Pleasant good evening to Lisa, my good friend Lisa. Sonia, the beautiful Sonia. Malti, Petal. Mira, you see what you have? I don't know what you have. Show me what you have. Oh. Malti and Chan listening. Avi, Mira. Mira says wow. I don't know what a wow is about. Petal, Bianca, Prad. My good friend Prad is my friend from university at Nova University, and we have maintained that friendship throughout our lives, and I am very blessed to have him in my life. One thing I must say. So Prad and his wife Tara, Mira, Celia. So they are persons who are all locked on onto the program. They are looking at us on Facebook.
Well, tell you what we are going to do. We have another caller on the line, so we're going to go straight to the phones. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes.
Hi.
Dr. Raj,
Yes.
let me tell you something there when I jump and tell you something you like.
Yeah.
When a junk man watch me and tell me, if you are here, you want me to bring out the truth into things. You see, when I jump, one man goes to
Yeah, when you get sober, you go say, boy, that was only rum talking, you know, boy.
yes, and say that is wrong talk, but it's not a wrong talk. That's what he has in his mind.
Well, you're taking it at a different level. You're taking it in a different way. We're talking about when a man boasting and bragging. So if you want to mix up or confuffle what we're talking about with what you are bringing into it, it doesn't mix. We are talking about boasting and bragging about sexual prowess. That's what we are talking about. If a drunk man tell you, boy, I lick up that thing the other day, don't believe him. But if he turn to you and say, yeah, like you, it's because yeah, like you. And I don't blame him. Because you're mixing up things.
No, but you tell me he like me when he's sober.
Huh?
When he's sober, you tell me.
Well, you will have to decide which one is truth or which one is lie. I don't know who telling you that. If it's your childhood friend and he accustomed telling you stupidness, like me, I have, my two best buddies, Kishore and Darren.
Yeah.
We will tell each other the worst of things in front of people, but it has no meaning to us. Absolutely no meaning. We will pass each other straight somewhere and say, well, yeah, talking to you, what's wrong with you? What are you doing here? But that's how we operate with one another.
That's the trust you have in one.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, that's my point.
Yeah.
My
We understand that. Thank you.
Okay, family, thanks for calling. Just to remind you once again that you are on the inside of Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Just to remind you once again that our lines are open. If you would love having a conversation, exchanging ideas with Dr. Raj, you can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. Now, I remind you once again that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
You know, some persons need to take a drink before they can talk.
Yeah.
You know the character Raj in Big Bang Theory? You remember at the beginning,
yes,
for the
yes,
first
yes,
6
yes,
years, he
yes.
couldn't talk to
He
a
couldn't
woman
talk, no.
unless he take a drink, until one day he was opening up to Penny and he just started to talk to her and he said, I haven't had a drink, and he was like, I didn't have a drink and I could talk to a woman.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are individuals who are like that. There are some persons, if you ask them to give a speech, they'll go and take 2 quick drinks by the bar
Yes.
and then give a speech.
I know a lot of people.
Because they'll tell themselves that I need alcohol to do it.
Self-confidence,
It's like going to a party and you've seen a girl you want to dance with. So you go in the bar and you take a drink and then you approach her and say, you're looking beautiful, I'd like to have a dance. And if she blank you, say, well, I was drunk when I asked the question and I wasn't really, but that time you're drunk at all.
Now you know exactly.
But you're
what's
using it as an
happening.
excuse.
Yeah. Well, what we are going to do is back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Yes?
The girls not tonight.
You hearing any girls?
No, I don't know.
All right. If you hear them, they're not here.
No, because Emmanuel Carter and me, if you want to get from John Abai, I want to give the shit to my family. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, they're not here tonight.
They're not here tonight, family. Yeah.
Yes, so sometimes you need that. You need alcohol for you to be a little more brave in whatever you're doing. But I don't think alcohol should be a catalyst for you to do something. You must have that self-confidence and self-esteem to be able to propel yourself. Excuse me. What should get you going is the fact that there is something there that will want you, or you have a need for, that you will go towards.
Yes.
And that's where the strength comes in. But not everyone has that, and I don't blame them when I see that happening. It's just that it tells me the extent at which persons would do things. Madness, eh?
More than madness. I don't see what David meant.
Total madness. So everyone has their way of doing things, and I never grew up like that. As a matter of fact, I remember the same place, Bhokal. My grandfather used to have these yajnas, which is Hindu prayers, for 7 nights or 9 nights or whatever. And there was this one beautiful girl. I mean, really, really beautiful girl. And she was about our age. We went to the same primary school, which was Mono Road Hindu. In those days, I think it was called Ajoda Road Hindu. Now it's called Mono Road Hindu, but it's on Ajoda Trace. And she was there, sitting in the crowd, and you had to go and give Panchamrit. There's something that you pour in people's hand. I passed her straight. I couldn't face her. I just couldn't face her. She was so
beautiful.
Talk about beautiful. But I know my uncle liked her, so you wouldn't make a move.
No, oh gosh, no.
You wouldn't make a move. You wouldn't. I mean, I passed her like a full boss.
Yeah, there's something that is something.
I was maybe about 8, 9, around that. And my uncle was a little younger than I was. Doing the fact that he liked her, but knowing that she just gives, if she only look at me, I drop this phone and run.
You feel your whole inside coming out.
Because that was a different era, different time, and a different situation. You're talking about in these areas, you dare not even talk to her outside a class or outside a playing in the yard. Even playing in the yard, you were talking to her. You wouldn't even, if it's Grandy, you make an excuse to go and play, but not there.
No.
So that's the difference. That's what I tell you, it's a big difference. Person who grew up in your environment or my environment will not understand that, They will not understand that. There's certain lines you don't cross, and you don't cross it for nothing,
No, but what you're saying is true. But when you look at how things have changed from then to now, would you say it's a vast difference?
Oh yeah, because in the same village, life has changed. I have seen it. I have seen that. I go there often, any like funerals and weddings and visiting family and whatnot, and I see the change. It's not the same life that we grew up in. It's not the same way. The women are more empowered, and that's one of the things that has happened in society over the years, the empowerment of women. And whether we come from a first world country or a third world country doesn't matter. Women has been empowered over the last 100 years, and we have to embrace that fact, and we have to admit to that fact. But with the empowerment of women came a phenomenon where a lot of men lost their self-esteem too.
Yes.
They became less of a man. And I can't understand when women become empowered, you're supposed to be developing along with the woman, and you have to maintain your strength.
Yes, but we come back to the same thing as we have discussed in the past. When you are in a relationship with someone and your spouse is a female and she's making much more, twice the amount of money that you bring in on a month end, the male feels a pressure.
Of course.
He will.
But
feel
if you're
pressure.
not qualified to bring in more money,
but still,
if you don't have the qualification as the woman has achieved that, because there are a lot more women going to university and think no. I'm not knocking the guys who have gone to tertiary who has not gone on to tertiary education and have taken up a skill, but they may not be paid as much as the person who have the qualification. So that's what I'm talking about. If you know you are not qualified for certain things, what you expect? To get something better? You're not going to get better. That's why I tell guys, if you're marrying a woman who has a certain level of education, you have to step up. Don't believe because you are the man that you demand respect from her or you demand equality from her. You have to step up. Not so much so the woman, although the women are doing it now. But it was not expected as much from the women. But a lot of men feel emasculated when they have to step up. But you have to step up.
Yes, you have to, yeah.
If you don't step up, you are in trouble.
Yes, but this has been going on. I mean, this is going on.
It's a debate that will go on for many years.
Because when we were growing up, But even though we came from the same era, I think, you know, women used to look at men as the head of the house.
Correct, but that is the way it has been established throughout history.
Yeah, right.
Right, and we understand that. We understand the whole thing about manlyhood and a man's place and the head of the household and responsibility and all that. Fine. It was a way of life before.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a lot of single mothers. You have a lot of single women out there who are not interested in getting married. And when they do get married, it's because they're well qualified and they are in a better position than the man. There are some women who get married for love. They find themselves in an important position. For example, and I'll use this as an example, just as an example, they may have their own business because they come from a business family, or because they were educated in business, so they start something and they're successful in it, and they get married to a guy who may be doing something ordinary, and he is not such a good breadwinner, and eventually she will say, but there's a mismatch here. He can't have a conversation with me or conversation with my friends. He always feel left out because he has not stepped up. He has not stepped up because you don't want to get involved in whatever she's doing. Let's say she's a psychologist, right? A lot of women like to study psychology and what. And he is a painter. Mm-hmm. He might tell himself, well, I'm good enough, I could paint. I painted houses. Yes, that's good. You're bringing in an income and whatnot. But can you carry on a conversation with your wife in the realm of that education and with her friends? And there are some guys who tell you, I don't like your friends. The reason why they don't like your friends is because they cannot have a conversation with your friends.
Cannot come up to that level. Mm.
They can't. And what's going to eventually happen is you're going to have a difficulty in the relationship.
Yes, but apart from that too, you have some women that, well educated in a good job, and they don't really care to have a serious relationship because financially they could take care of themselves. They have the house, they have the car.
Well, they have the material things, but there's always the need for that physical union with a man. Physical union, and which woman who is straight, let's use straight or bisexual woman, would like a man hugging them up. Mm-hmm. Which woman don't like to know that they have a man to look up to? There are women out there, although they may be educated and what, they still look for that machoism in a man, that strength in a man. There are some men out there who are weaklings and they project themselves as such. If you as a man is not projecting that masculinity and projecting to your woman that you are in charge, I'm not talking about being rough and insultive and whatnot. You are in charge, right? There's some guys who can't change the tire in their car and there are women who could do it, right? Those are the things that women look up to also. It is a turn on for women, you know. Don't feel although a woman is educated and beautiful and have things in life that she don't want a man to tell her what to do or take care of her or control to some extent. She want to feel that. She want to feel that, hey, I have a man. I don't have a maniku.
I'm telling you. Anyway, folks, what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello? Yes?
Yes, Dr. Raj, a woman with attention, most of the time, you have to tell them that
We're not hearing you. You're breaking up. Wherever you are, we're hearing pieces of what you're saying.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Like I say, I'm complete attention after most of the time, that you love them.
You're still breaking up. Sorry, you need to call back.
Family
Sorry.
have to call back. You're breaking up here.
You need to call back. You're still breaking up.
Yeah. You hear me now?
We're hearing that part of it, but when you start with whatever you're saying, I hear attention and affection, and after that, we're not hearing anything else.
Attention, affection, appreciation. You have to stop right there.
No, family you have to try back to call. Yeah,
I'm sorry, we're not hearing. I hear attention, affection, and appreciation.
Yeah,
but something else come after that.
Something else came after that.
We're sorry. We're not hearing you properly.
Well, just to remind you once again that you are listening to Friday's edition of Sexplosion on Power 102 FM, Sexologist and Guru of Sex Education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located that's in Augustine, and there he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, all the lines are open. If you do have something on your mind that is bothering you and it is sexual, well, I can tell you, you can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in WhatsApp and text messages, you can also do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. You are listening to a program that deals with sex, love, and relationships exclusively on your number one all-round station, Power 102 FM. Yeah.
A woman sometimes needs to feel the strength of a man. She needs to feel comforted. She needs to feel protected. Those are basic instincts. You know, when you talk about basic instinct, those are basic instincts that is not going to go away with no matter how much education you have and how much subjects you have and how much business you have or how much money you have or how much cars you have. You know, that's what I was talking about before. Material things are a way of life, but it's not the most important thing in life. There are much more things that are much more important.
Okay, what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Yes. Once upon a time, a few years ago, a woman who was involved in a lesbian relation called the program, right? And said, after making love with her partner, right, in a lesbian relationship, she still find that something was missing. She wasn't satisfied. She said she needed some penetration also.
Yeah.
They need some penetration.
Yeah, but that's why lesbian women use a strap-on or they use a double-headed dildo.
No, she wanted the real thing.
No, well, that's what I said. That's why they use that. They use a substitute, but they'll tell you they still need to feel a man's arms wrap around them. Right? They still need to feel the strength of a man on top of them. That's why sometimes a woman like you to lie down on top of them so they can feel your body weight on them, you know. There are lots of different things when it comes to sex apart from penetration or apart from the sexual act. They want to feel enveloped into the arms of their lover so that they feel that sense of belonging.
That body contact.
That sense of belonging. I belong to this person. But that's the bedroom speaking. Outside of that, they may be highly independent outside of that. But in the bedroom, you could have sex with a woman and satisfy her. There's no denying that. But if there's something that she wants from you that is lacking, and I tell persons this, women like to be made love to here. I wish I could have used the word attentive yet. What is it? No. They like to be effed in here.
The brain.
In the brain. Not down there. That is love making. You see here? When you could get into here and make love, that's a different. You drain their energy and you energize them. You give them a sense of belonging. You give them a strength that they will not get otherwise. Because the sex is in the brain. The sex is, I am having sex with a man who taking care of my needs, who feels like a man, not a lover alone. There are lots of women who want that. That's why yesterday I was making that point. There are a lot of young persons who are married, but they're not married to a man. They're married to money. They're married to success, but they're not married to a man. He don't know how to do the manly things. He don't know how to be a man. And that's a hell of a thing. That's a phenomenon that is happening in society that is causing a lot of problems. And we're not addressing that because no one was brave enough, except I am, to bring it to the public attention. I see a lot of young guys getting married who are not prepared for to be married mentally. So they shouldn't be married.
Anyway, folks, taking a return, it's now 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. Inside Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. I'll tell you what we are going to do is take a break at 15 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Don't forget to call out the numbers to call in, because remember a lot of people have the numbers to call in. So call out the numbers to call in.
I think they are doing that.
No, when I say don't forget to do it.
Concert of the summer. Introducing Viola Nile.
Everybody loves soca music and you make some noise.
Not really. Oh.
Now me come and dance with me at the kids jamboree.
Right? Good. Very good. She was very interactive.
But you know what will happen with that?
What?
That is
Five-star kill.
Huh?
shit.
I know my business. That not my headache. No. I come and do my job.
I wonder why he didn't come in last night.
He worked earlier.
And what earlier?
He worked for Sir Charles.
No. Oh, he was, yeah, because his family did a double.
Yes.
Joyous Sharon.
She cool down over.
You know my superpower is to bring love, laughter, joy, peace. Okay.
Kids Jamboree 2019, Sunday, 4th August, at the UMO Ballpark, Center of Excellence.
You're following up the games? And then your day we change deep into
What games?
Pan American.
No. I follow it yet. Tomorrow, alright, I was following the cricket with England and
Go discover the flavor
Ireland.
Tax International, Cons Bike Zone, and the Any1 mobile app.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
We are all in this together.
Let's do this with Cheryl Wilson on Power 102, empowering you.
How family did?
Every
Who
Saturday
was here
from
last
6 to
week?
10
Very good.
p.m. on Power 102.
Shy one.
Very good.
Huh?
The Reggae Ride with the Empress, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane. Soon and good music. Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday. Great reggae music. The Reggae Ride.
Cafe.
To the news, we play only the best. The Reggae Ride, Saturdays from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Want to continue that more now than ever. We are simply putting the fun back into sex education right here on Power 102 FM. Sexplosion, Friday's edition of Sexplosion with Sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out at St. Augustine. Folks, don't forget our lines are open if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj live here in studio 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Now, if you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or text message, that can also be done on his private mobile 740-1961. Now, remind you once again, due to the mature subject of this program, parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
I have seen women, young ladies, girls, who have matured and become women much faster than men, than young men becoming men. I have seen women who have educated themselves, who have gone to university, who have started a career in business or otherwise and become successful much faster than men. And I have seen them get involved in relationship, marriages and whatnot with boys. Meaning the men that they have married are not men.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
They're not
They
men.
did not live up to expectation.
They, after a while, it falls apart, and I see it all the time. This weekend alone, well, not this weekend, this week alone, I came across 3 such cases.
Okay, but hold on one second. Thank you for holding, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Junior. Good evening, Dr. Raj.
Good evening.
I just want to make a little joke with the Penguin Calypso. But it's a serious matter we discussed. Whatever it is, with woman don't like soft man.
Yeah. Woman don't like soft man. You can't remember that?
When a fella can't change a tire, it's frustrating, you know.
Of course. Of course it is. You don't remember that song?
I don't think it's
77, Penguin.
Penguin. Oh,
yeah, that's what he said.
yes.
Penguin,
I
not
thought he
crazy.
said crazy.
No, Penguin.
No, Penguin.
Yeah, woman don't like soft man. But you're right. It might sound, but you hear it in calypsos. You hear it in chutney. You hear it because it is something that is happening in society. You might laugh at it, but I have seen many men that cannot live up to being a man. I have seen that too many times. They don't know how to take the mantle. They don't know how to take the bull by the horn. So yes, caller.
What can we do? What can we do to have that problem?
Well, we have to empower the men as much as we are empowering the women. We need to get the men to get off their high horse, stop being egotistical and thinking, I know everything and I don't need to change. We have to get them to change the way they're thinking and the way they're doing things. That is our responsibility in society. If I see that with one of my nephews, I will pull him aside and say, here, what man? You have to step up to the plate and be a man. I will do that. And if you want to know how to be a man, this is what you have to do. Sometimes... Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Okay, thanks for calling. Yeah.
I come across one situation in my family circle, right? My in-laws and whatnot. Everybody, they look forward to having conversation with me. I don't know how much they like me because I can't say they will have to say that. I can't toot my own horn. But anything happens in my family circle, they call upon me, you know, because I will take charge and I will fix things, I will make things happen and make it good. But I have seen situations where somebody falls short and I pull them up. And if I pull you up and it doesn't change, I done with you, you know. I leave you to become whatever you want to become, and you're going to lose in the long run, you know. And I will point it out to you, hear what? You're messing up. You're messing up as a man. And things are not going to work out well with you, and I've seen it. But I am not going to usurp your power or try to tell you that, hey, I will try my best for you to see the right way.
Guide you in the right direction.
Guide you. But I am not going to force you to change. If you feel you don't need to change, fine, you know. But face the consequences of your action thereafter.
So the most you can do is give advice.
Advice and guidance.
That's the most
advice and
important
guidance.
thing. Anyway, folks, taking more time, 24 minutes after 10 o'clock, you are on the driving force of Sexplosion on Power 102 FM. The guru of sex education in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. Yeah.
Dr. Raj, I have a question from last night's program. Would like you to give an answer for me, please. You said last night, why whether it may be man or woman when the other partner becomes unattractive, not taking care of her, gives the right for someone to be unfaithful. I never said that. I never said that. And if you interpret that what I said from my program, you're wrong. It still does not make it right. If the person has not been unfaithful, you can give your opinion on this program tonight. Please, thank you. Have a great evening, sir. I don't think unfaithfulness is the way to resolve your marriage or your relationship. What I said last night, if a person is no longer attractive to you, it will give you, the person who wants that feeling or wants that attraction, it will give them an excuse to do something. It's an excuse. But it's a legitimate excuse because you're no longer attracted to me. I no longer want what I am seeing. I no longer want what I have. Sometimes these young ladies, and that's why a lot of marriages are broken up now, you know. They have big elaborate weddings that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the marriage are going to last a month, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, you know. Because they think that money buys everything. Money does not buy love. Money does not buy everything. Look at all these big stars in the world, Hollywood stars and whatnot. They get married, big elaborate thing, and good, and you know. And how long did the marriage last?
Like the old people would say, not as long as the red house
fire.
Yeah.
And the red house fire lasts a little while, eh? For those who don't know history.
Yeah, but those marriages, I mean, I haven't really, when you sit back and look at the powerful people in the movie industry, how many of them you can stay together for 10, 15 years? How much of them you could really say married?
You see, there's marriage of convenience. Sometimes I am a successful businessman, and you have a business that I want to get into, or if we could marry both business and become a conglomerate, so my daughter must marry your son. So it's a marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
But your son is a mama man. He can't stand on his own. As a matter of fact, you grow him up in such a way that he grew up like a puss. So how is he going to stand on his own? You have grown him up that way. You know why people wouldn't let their children run in the yard because they're afraid they fall on and bruise their knee?
Oh yes, that still goes on.
Yeah. When my children were growing up, I made sure that all the things that I was exposed to and they were protected to a point. But apart from that,
they got to get the feel.
They got to get the feel, and they got to have that sense of self.
Of growing up. Yeah.
That sense of self. Become your own individual, but become your own individual with a strength. So you are a stronger, better person, and you make better decisions, and you have a better relationship with your spouse.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be perfect, because I don't have a perfect relationship. I can tell you that off the bat. I strive to have a better relationship each time, but I don't have a perfect relationship. Nobody has.
Nobody does.
But that doesn't make it an excuse for me not to strive, eh?
No. You do the best to your ability.
Correct. Very good night, sir. My name is so-and-so. I have a bad problem from my waist down. Blood is poor, very poor. From your waist down blood. You mean your blood from your waist? What do you mean by that? Mister, you have me confused. I'm so confused.
I wonder, I don't want to.
Where's your waist down blood?
What he said?
I have a bad problem from my waist, W-A-S-T-E, not W-A-I-S-T. Waist down blood is poor, very poor.
Which, what I think, I'm just blowing out.
I don't like to assume that.
And yeah, must be having problems getting an erection.
It doesn't say that.
No, but you know, some people don't like to tell you indirect words. They kind of beat around, but you know that they kind of beat around the bush before getting to the.
You mean the totally not going up?
Yeah.
The flag not rising.
Yeah, the minute the blood not
okay.
Yeah.
You can have all the money in a marriage, but no love. You're sure to get horn. Well, not only horn, but not only love, but strength.
Strength, yeah.
Strength is not love, you know. Strength develops love.
Yeah.
Strength embraces love, but it is not love. You see, the mental stability of a woman is what you have to look at, right? If you take it upon yourself to get involved with a woman, you have to also work out the psyche of the woman, you know, what she wants and what she expects of you. She will push your buttons to see how far you will go also, you know.
Testing.
To see what kind, of course, women are constantly testing men, whether we know it or not. Women constantly push you to the edge as much as they could to see your strength. Because they don't want a mama man. They don't want somebody who's weak.
And they're looking for somebody who they have to introduce in company that could stand on their own. You know, they can handle their stories.
Right, but let's not go in the company. You and your partner in the bedroom, you and your partner in the home, the house, the kitchen, the living room, she must look across at you and say, well, that is my man. Not that is my husband.
Yeah.
Not that is my lover. But that is my man. You know how to take care of me. Mentally. She must look at you and have a strength that when she sees you, she feel a little weakness.
Yeah.
When she think about you, she feel weak. She feel a tingling in her vagina. How many women, they still feel that? There must be something about you that brings that about. Despite the fact that you have all the other trappings of it. But there's that also, where when I look at you, I feel a sense of weakness for you. Because of that love and appreciation I have for you. But not only that, I see you as my man. You are the man.
So in other words, what you're saying is that when she looks at you, from the corner of her eyes, she get moist.
Yes. Yes. Barring menopause.
But, yeah.
Because no menopause, you wouldn't get moist. But you will still have a tingling in the vagina. You still have a feeling for your man. Don't wait for the approach of the man to say, well, yes, I'm ready for sex.
Yeah.
The wanting must be there before.
Yeah. You have to fly across the room like a mosquito.
Pleasant good night to Renuka. She says, hi, Dr. Raj and Junior. I see Andrea is
Nice
on,
family.
Farida is on, Vera is on, Eddie, my good friend from high school, Alicia, Malti, Ravi, Kimberly.
Kimberly, okay.
Hi, just joined. I'm a little late. I always enjoy your show. Thank you very much. Suraj Day is watching. Maurice is watching. Sarah is watching. Prasad, Nadira Prasad is watching. I would like for all those who are watching to hit the heart button, the thumbs up button, and also send me a question. Gina, she has my last name, but we're not married. Gina Ramnanan.
Oh, maybe that's family?
No. I have no Ramnanan family except my brother's children, and I know them all. We are not Ramnanans. I just said that at the beginning of the program. My family is Tilak Singh.
You know something? I was very close to the Tilak Singhs, and I'll tell you which one. And I'm pretty sure you will see, but Junior, this is a small, his family is a small world. Junior Tilak Singh, he was involved with films.
I know who you're talking about. Marisha is on. Marissa, oh, sexy, beautiful Marissa. Renuka, oh, we call her already. Joan, Celia, Janelle. Now, not because I call your woman or your wife or whoever it is sexy and beautiful, mean to say I hitting up on her. I know a lot of women who are on here who are my friends or friend of a sister of a friend.
Yeah.
Or somebody who I know, and I will call them beautiful. I'll tell them they're sexy. I'll tell them they're nice.
Well,
because
compliment you.
I compliment all the
course,
time.
yes, you should, yeah.
It doesn't mean to say I want to go to bed with you.
No.
I believe in complimenting someone. Compliment what she does.
Yeah.
Send her roses just because.
And if she does well, you can give it a double compliment.
Of course. And I like when I see a beautiful woman to tell her that she's, and again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So what I may see as beauty, you may not.
Well, yes.
So, but sometimes you know someone and you know their characteristics, so you see beauty in that also. In their characteristics, their behavior, the way they conduct themselves, which is also something very nice. Nisa is on, Beverly is on, Beverly in Princess Town. At least that's what she told me the last time. Alicia. Jason is on as always. He's one of our silent supporters. He has been a supporter of Dr. Raj and the program for many, many years. So Jason, good night to you.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 26 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with Sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out at St. Augustine, and there he treats all sexual dysfunctions. Well, just to remind you once again that our lines are open for those of you who would love to chat with Dr. Raj live in studio. Feel free, I'll give you a couple of numbers. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Now, for those of you who would love to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You're all listening to a program that deals with sex, love, and relationships exclusively on Power 102 FM, your number one all-round station.
You know, with all the persons who were telling me congratulations and whatnot, I was looking out for one person to see if he would have said congratulations or something. And I didn't see it, and I felt a bit down until I looked through. I was scrolling through, I think, Facebook, and I saw it. It's my brother-in-law, Anil.
Oh, okay.
And he's here on Instagram. So, Anil, I was really looking forward to see that, and I was kind of disappointed when I didn't see it in the context of others, but I did see it afterwards on Facebook.
You saw mine, eh?
Of course.
Oh.
I think it was just after yours.
I said, oh. So there's family, man.
It was just after your comment I saw it.
See, good people stick together.
No, well, there's some things that you look forward to, eh? Regardless of whatever it is.
Well, of course, yeah.
There's some things that you really look forward to. Suraj Day is on, Vijayanti is on. Good night, nice program. Keep up the great work. Drop blessings. Blessed evening to you and Junior. Janelle is on.
Janelle.
Natalie.
We have nice people listening tonight, man.
Some beautiful people listening tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Very good. Anyway, folks, that brings us to 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. You know, I can tell you, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education here on Power 102 FM every Thursday and Friday evening. At Thursday, Dr. Raj, he comes in, stay with us from 7, and on a Friday, he's back with us from 9 p.m. Taking sex education where it has never been before, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Don't forget, all lines are open, 222-8255, also at 612-8255.
My son has a dog called Ellie, a 1-year-old dog. She is, I don't know, she is fascinated by me. When I go to visit, she crawls along the couch wherever I'm sitting and come and sit on top of my head.
Okay.
Seriously. She will leave, she gets crazy when she sees me. And she will come and sit on my lap and she will just look at me, and you don't make eye contact with her because then she goes crazy. If you make eye contact,
There's that kind of barking and all kind
no barking.
No.
She just wants to romp with you, and she's very strong, eh? Very, very strong. So every morning I call my grandson. Well, I call my daughter, my son to see my grandson. And for the time she hears me, she comes to the phone and she's like,
look at him.
Where's this man? Where's this man? I want to sit on his head.
Look at him. Yeah.
And that's her. Ellie.
Oh, yeah,
Powerful.
I remember the brown one.
He died.
That died, yes.
From
I know.
cancer, yes.
Yeah, I know that kind of. That
was devastated. But
yeah.
Ellie has this sorrowful look.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, look at it.
But you wouldn't believe how strong this dog is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But she crawls. She will. The couch is long, so she will go all the way to the end and crawl. Come all the way behind me and just go on my head.
They got it from a shelter? Or?
Yeah. They go to the shelter and get that animals. So the blood flow is poor. I had a test done, and yes, I have problem with my 2 feet and my penis, so that's my problem. Okay. And somebody wants to sit on my head, you can sit on my head anytime. The only thing is that if you're wet, you'll slide off.
Oh, they wanted to get ahead of things.
She wants to get a head start.
A head start.
I don't know how wet she will get next time when she slides off.
Maybe
and leave a streak.
Yeah, maybe she'll make it easy.
Make it easy? How?
Eh?
Easy like Sunday morning?
Easy like Sunday morning.
Pleasant good night to you. This is from who, boy? I don't mind you saying pleasant good night to me, but I'd like to know who you are.
Yeah. Or they just left a number, right?
No, a beautiful young lady. I mean,
beautiful. Oh, she left a pic.
She didn't leave any pic. I just went and looked at her profile pic, if that is her. Sometimes, people have other people as a profile
I ain't
pic.
getting trapped in that, I am not getting trapped. I'm going through an experience here. Somebody breaks in from me. I interact with this person a lot on Facebook. I post music on my page, and this person don't miss a beat. They live away, so they visit in. So they came home. And I can't see them at all. I need a binoculars.
You know what I hate? And I don't, you see, false advertising I don't like. I don't like, I don't know if you remember the time Volvo made an advertisement where they rest something on the car and it wouldn't squish, it wouldn't go down. Meaning the post of the car was very strong. So in a crash, if you turn upside down, you wouldn't die. Which was false advertising, and they made them remove that ad and put a disclaimer after. Because when they turn the car over, the weight of the car crushed the car. Crushed the hood.
Hey, I have a couple of callers here.
Let's take it.
Yeah. Hello, thank you for holding, and welcome to Sexplosion.
Good night, Raj.
Good evening.
Alvin from Moruga.
Alvin, how are you, my friend?
Long time, boy.
I know why when you're having rectal penetration with a female, with a talking tongue?
Because of the intensity and the feeling that comes with it. Remember, there are more nerve endings in the anus than there are in the vagina. So
with that, they have lost their awareness.
Sometimes they do because of that intensity and the sweetness that they get from it.
You have a nice night.
You're welcome, Alvin.
Okay, thanks a lot, family. Okay, let's see. We go.
And she said, yes, it is her pick. But you know what I hate? I dislike filtered pictures. I think persons should see your true color, how you look. And there's nothing wrong with being dark. There's nothing wrong with having sapodilla color skin or darker skin. There's beauty in that also.
People have to love you how you are.
But when somebody posts a picture of themselves that doesn't look like them, and they come in front of you, I ask them, where is the person in the picture? I want to see that person. I don't want to see you.
Anyway,
false advertising. I don't like false advertising. I dislike that. And she's a very beautiful woman. Wow. Nice features. The eyes of a woman tells a lot. The eyes of a woman tells a lot. You know, the eyes are really the window to the soul. And she has such dreamy eyes. Yeah. I like to examine a picture and see things. Yes, you can be helped, so. The person with the problem with the flow of the blood and all that.
From the waist down.
How old are you? You look very young, although you have a mouse face. Or is that a rabbit face? Some kind of, or it looks like a dog face. That's another thing. I hate people when they post a picture like that. That's a dog face, right?
That's a real turn off.
That's a total turn off. When women do that, oh my God. Let me see your beauty. If the guys want to do it, no problem. Good night. Is shrinkage of the penis normal? It is normal if you have a problem or you're going through andropause. So it's not normal. It's a sign of something going wrong. So I can't tell his age. So if you tell me his age, I'll tell you how quickly you can be helped. So the young lady who wants to sit on my head, you can anytime, because if you see the beauty of this lady.
Is that right? So she wants to get ahead of you?
She don't need to use any filter, or she didn't use anything.
Oh no! So she wants to get ahead of you.
I don't think she wants to get ahead of me. She wants to sit on my head.
She wants to sit on your head.
She wants me to be ahead of her.
Well, eventually it would.
He said he's 41. Well, that's not me. It's my nephew. Okay. Well, right. You see. Question: why do men feel threatened by an independent woman, and can this be upset his health? Of course, that's what we were just talking about. Independent woman would upset a healthy relationship because most men can't handle an independent woman. You know?
Yeah.
They can't. They just can't do it.
They've been spoiled from
Sweetheart,
birth.
sweetheart, send me a full body picture so I can see all. Oh, she did.
You can see the whole thing.
Wow.
Things that make you go. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 16 minutes before 11 o'clock. The magic of sex education right here on Power 102 FM with sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out at St. Augustine. And there he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Well, we are at 15 minutes before 11 o'clock, and our lines are open if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj. Here are a couple of numbers at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in WhatsApp messages or a text message and you want it to be private, you can also do that on his mobile at 740-1961. It's a program that's educational, it's informative, and of course, you know, it's entertaining. Nice having your company. Yeah.
She says she's 37. I have to ask that question. Today a young lady contacted me and she was being a bit sexual. So I said, how old are you? She said 17. I said, Miss Lady, you will be getting trouble.
17.
17 and you talking sexual things? No.
Well, I'll tell you something.
When I saw her picture, at first she said 20, but the things that she was saying wasn't a 20-year-old saying it.
Yeah, you must
So I asked her, I said, when is your birthday? And she told me the birthday. And I said, well, what year?
Yeah.
So without she thinking too much, she put the year. So when I worked it out, it was 17. I was like, don't text me. Not at all.
No, that is trouble.
Stay away from me.
There's trouble
please.
with a capital T.
R capital. Good night, sir. Nice program. Keep up. So I just asked the young lady who sent me all those pictures her age. She don't look like 37. She looks like, I would think she's a teenager. What, the first picture I saw?
Well,
let me don't go there because people feel I'm flirting too much. I might get booked from somebody.
yeah. Yeah, I know. You might, yes. You don't want that to happen.
Hi, good evening. I'm locked on as usual. My good friend Peter, how are you? Peter is one of those very good friends of Sexplosion and myself, the program, and he visits me from time to time. So I enjoy his company. You know, some people enjoy the company and conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, I must say that. Okay. I'm seeing her name popping up here ever so often. She is on, but she's not sending a question. I don't know why. I expect to hear a question from her. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying a name. No, I batted him at crease.
Well, I can tell you folks, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education on a Thursday and Friday evening, right here on Power 2 FM with sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. I tell you, we are taking sex education where it has never been before. And if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj in studio, he's sitting right next to me here, as a matter of fact. You can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you're sending in a WhatsApp or a text message on his private mobile, 740-1961. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
Good night, Dr. Raj and Junior. I'm tuned in from Sexy Alicia. Nice program as usual.
Alicia.
Sexy Alicia.
Sexy
so you have to be careful. Don't just say Alicia.
No, you got to emphasize this.
I am your friend on Facebook. Okay, check it out after the show. I will. Don't mention it because people who I don't like are watching with me. Well, we know it always have people macking you, so don't worry, I just get the same thing also. There are persons who are watching this program right now who may not like the things that I'm saying.
Yes.
I don't know, I'm just saying that. I have diabetes also. I will try to text before because I always believe I can't pay for it, please. Okay. Who's saying this now? I will call let's call tomorrow, 645-4543. For those of you who want to make an appointment to come and see me tomorrow, it's 645-4543. I am there from 12. Good evening, doctor. Locked on at work on the night shift. Off topic for your program, but thank you for voicing concern and sympathy for the fisherman. No, I mean, if you can't be a human being, you cannot be a Trinidadian or a Trinidadian and not feel it for the families of these young men. These are young, vibrant men.
Yes. Yeah.
I know the funny thing about it, I just only found out this today. One of the young men is a cousin of one of our angels. Yeah, so tomorrow I will do the needful.
Sad. Really, really sad.
And it just gets me angry.
No, but I'll tell you
No,
something.
I'm very angry, you know. You wouldn't believe how angry I am. You know. I am so angry that if I see one of these important officials, I will tell them to their face that they're a bunch of cowards and racists. I think it's racist. That's what I believe.
But I'll tell you something, eh? You know I grew up in Belmont. I've been
You did?
behind the bridge.
You did?
I'm behind the bridge.
You got the warning yesterday not to pass by the bridge here because
No,
of the gunshots?
Where all the bacchanal happened.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't pass there
Is
last night.
there-
I didn't
is-
want any stray bullet hitting me.
Is there on Piccadilly? Is there?
I know, I know.
But
Yes.
you know, and growing up there and then moving in Belmont, I never in my life ever thought that we would have reached this stage here in Trinidad and Tobago.
I never thought it either.
I never in my mind.
I will tell you, it doesn't matter where, who, what, why. If something like that happens anywhere, it affects me. Even when it happens overseas, and I don't even know, I have no connection to those countries. When you hear boat capsize and people dying and all those things, it's sickening. And then you hear it here. I'm very angry about that.
Yeah, boy.
And I think people need to get angry. I honestly feel people need to get angry about something like that.
You never think things like that. You know, we've seen some things that's happening in our country at present that you never.
I have heard people, and I talk to a lot of people. I've heard people who have never expressed leaving this country saying they want to leave. And it's shocking. Persons who have never expressed that in any form or fashion before, saying, I'm ready to pack up and leave this country. No, I can't blame them, I can't fault them. If you have young children and whatnot, that I will not even try to convince you to stay.
I'm telling you.
No, I wouldn't even try to convince you to stay, because if something happens, I'll feel guilty. But I'm not running and going anyway. Not me.
No, I don't.
Not me. I'm not doing that.
No. I am a firm believer of that as well.
But there are some persons who are contemplating that, and I don't blame them either, because I understand why. They feel that there's no hope anymore.
Well, I've been interacting, but you know, most of my family is on the outside, and I've been interacting with them on a daily basis, and you know, the same thing is.
I don't want to answer to them.
And it's the same thing they tell me. They say, family.
What are you still doing here?
What are you still doing? I say, family, let me tell you something. I spent 10 years in New York between 1970 and 1980, and getting that experience when you live abroad, you know, it changes you, and you come back to your country. And I wouldn't leave. I going down. I'm definitely going down.
But I'll tell you something.
Going down with it.
I don't do the things I used to do the way I used to do it. Not because I'm coward or not because I'm afraid, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation where something could happen.
Right. You won't.
I don't go.
You won't extend.
If I
yourself.
go, imagine my family have bars and whatnot. I will go and sit and lime and things. I don't do that anymore. For the simple fact that somebody might walk in there and some foolish person might do something foolish, and a bullet don't have no name on it. So why would I find myself in that situation?
No. I mean, we means and says things. Like, for instance, I remember growing up, we could have gone a little 30, come home 12.
That was normal.
That
was normal.
As a matter of fact, I put myself in a position presently now, up to date, where I get functions to play at. And I don't take it, just the main idea that I'm coming home 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You know, it is really a food for thought now.
Alicia says, what gets me even more irate about the situation with the fishermen is that it is suspected that the locals are behind it. I can't believe we would do that to our own. But it was done by locals. And you know, I listened to Mr. Gary Aboud this morning on the program, and he said that it wasn't policing that got the engines, you know. One of the engine had a GPS, and the fisherman had a GPS in the engine, and that's how they found the engine. It wasn't policing that got it. The GPS is what got the engine. So when they found one engine, they found the other 6. So they got 7 engines. So it wasn't great policing that got it. It was a GPS in the engine. Nobody did the investigations and things to find it. So all around, no one is really helping the fishermen or fishermen or the fisher folks. And I'll tell you something, and you know one of the fallouts of this? They'll within the next month, you cannot afford to buy a pound of fish or shrimp. And I can bet you that. You will not be able to afford to buy 1 pound of fish or a pound of shrimp. That will be the fallout of this. Everyone is going to be affected. For the simple reason that it costs lives to get what we want to eat. And we are not thinking along those lines. Nobody's thinking along those lines. Nobody's saying it, but I'm saying it. Because those men who are going out there will call their price from now on, or they will not go out and fish. It will be hard on their families, but
somebody's going to make a sacrifice.
Anybody's going to risk their lives to feed the nation. They're feeding the nation, you know. And that's what we fail to realize. We may look down at them and say they're fishmongers and whatnot. Right? Fishermen and fishmongers. The ones who sell fish. It's called a fishmonger.
Yeah.
But no, they're not. I have cousins who are fishmongers. I have friends who are fishermen. I don't look down at them. I know they're doing a service to the country, because without they going out there and catch fish, I can't get my grouper and I can't get my shrimp and I can't get other things to eat. Because I'm not going out there to do it. I don't like the sea.
No, I don't.
I personally don't like the sea.
I
have friends who have pleasure boats and whatnot. I have one friend have 5.
No, I don't.
And he just tell me, Raj, take one any day. Any day. Oh, come now, I meet him, we going out and fish. And I'm not going out there.
I don't like
I'm not going out there. I don't like it there.
I would much prefer, like my father used to take me when I was a young man. He would have, well, in those days they had fish down there. He used to take me by bauxite. So they write bauxite.
Bauxite.
And we used to throw a little line.
They still do.
The people still do?
They still do.
And even though
they still do, they go there and fish.
But I not. But it used to be good fun.
I don't like the water. I tell you, I have a friend. He has about 5 pleasure boats. He has 2 halls parked under a house. Say, Raj, just tell me which one you want and I'll fix it up for you. We are such good friends, I know I don't have to pay for that.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, no way in hell you're going to get me to own a craft or go out in the sea. You know what time he calls me and says, let me go and make a cook out. He likes to go out in the ocean and fish and make a cook out there. Not me, brother.
No. You see,
I don't like that. That is not my style and that's not my life.
Yes, but you see, the thing about it is that long ago you could have taken the chance and do that.
Yeah, but it is not what I like.
But I know, yes.
Tell me to bring a fish and let me go by the river and make a cook. Hey, VJ, how are you? Tell me to go do that by the river. Yeah. River had 2 banks, you know. And I could swim to reach one. I sure I could swim to reach one.
Well, I know for a fact you could reach one because I've been to a river line with you already.
No, I could swim. Yeah. I could swim, you know. But me going out there and challenge no sea.
I can't swim. I can't float.
No, I could rail swim, but
I'm
not challenging that. I'm not doing that.
If God wanted me to be a sailor, He would have given me fins.
Oh, okay. I agree.
I'm not in this water thing.
It's the same with hunting.
And then I
have friends who hunt. And I tell them, don't carry me in that, you know. Because if I see a deer going so, I will tell you go so.
My uncle used to hunt.
I shoot no animal.
But he used to hunt with hounds in Rio Claro.
Dogs, so yeah.
In Rio Claro.
So there are certain things I don't like and I don't indulge in. Right? It's not my style. I'm not against anybody who does it. That's their business. If that's what they get their fun out of, fine.
But it's not you.
But I'm not me.
It's not you.
It's not me. I don't like that. Never grew up. I mean, I went hunting and with friends hunting already. You know? Not to say I never run in the bush and like go hung dog and run on behind it and all kind of. I like the fun of that. But I don't like killing animals.
No, I'm not into that. I'm not into that now. Anyway,
same with cruelty with animals. I don't like that at all. So, folks, we need to get angry. We need to start saying something about the situation down in Cali Bay, Vancouver.
Hey, I now see my family, Wayne McDaniel.
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
Yeah.
What, he's on?
Well,
What did he say? Let me hear.
No, he sent that man. No, he just say hi to
You know, through you, Wayne became my friend also.
you and myself. Yeah,
Right.
This came at 10 o'clock anyhow.
Yes. Yes, we need to get angry. We need to raise our voices. We need to say something because I think, in my opinion, that you officials or whoever it is are wrong
Yes.
in not supporting the families
Yeah.
or the village.
I know you're disappointed in that.
I'm totally disappointed.
I know that.
I am totally disappointed as a human. Forget PNM and UNC and red and yellow. As a human being, I'm disappointed in the human beings that are running the country because they're less than human right now. In my opinion, this is strictly my opinion. I consider you to be less than human right now. You're not a human being. You can't tell me you're compassionate about one situation and not another. You cannot tell me you feel for one situation and not another because of the race of the person or the color of the person or what they do for a living. I think one of those life, it's like, you know, the American have a saying, an American life is worth more than anybody else's life.
Yes.
That's what you're telling me. So a person who is murdered in Arima or Sangre Grande or Westmoreland or whatever, life is worth more than one of the guys who's killed.
I know exactly.
And I don't
what
believe
you-
in that.
no, I know exactly
A life is
what
a
you-
life.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
there.
because I dislike when the Americans use that. You kill one American, you kill 10 of you. I dislike that. Right? A life is a life. And that's what I'm seeing here. It may not be so, but that's what I am seeing.
It is sad though.
Very
sad. It is a sad story.
So I have to end on that note because I want people to get angry. I want people to rise up and say something. I'm not talking about armed revolution or anything. I'm not into that crap either. I don't believe in overthrowing no government. I don't believe in any armed revolution. I don't believe in that at all. Really don't. Anybody who knows me know I am not in that. But when I say rise up, I mean your voice. You see this? This is a powerful tool. Very powerful tool. And if anybody in authority over here wants to pull me up on it, send your name this time. I'm not taking that, you know, one of these person, like, I want that.
No.
As a big man.
You want to get
Be a big man.
Straight from the horse's
Say
mouth.
your name. Let me deal with you one-on-one. One time. I'm not afraid of anybody or anyone. I respect officers, but it doesn't mean that I can cuss up your ass too.
Well, I'll tell you what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion.
Good night, gentlemen.
Hey,
Good evening.
I totally agree with Raj and the situation down in Caribbean.
Any right-thinking person would.
It's a shame to see that not a minister show up here and it's 7 possibly lives you're talking about.
Yes. But even for one, not 7, forget 7, for one. I would turn up there for the one who swam and go and shake his hand.
Right.
I will turn up for that. And say, man, well done. Thank God you're alive.
Yes, exactly. And look at the situation and look at the connection with the other situations that taking place in the country. You understand?
Stinking.
The same engine and the boat
Yeah.
used in the Las Vegas situation.
Well, I ain't going down. I'm not even going down there. I am dealing with that one incident and one incident only. And my thing is that if anybody in authority is listening, you are a coward and you are a racist. I see it as race.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Because if it was down in the western...
Oh God, the whole country would have shut down, boy. What's wrong with you? I couldn't come and do program.
Imagine when Colin Boat's son lost his phone, and how much police and how much forces came out and the cut off a service.
Yeah. Shut down a service for that.
Shut it down.
And the lady say when she called she son phone, somebody answering it. And you all of a sudden they don't have the technology to find it, eh? All of a sudden they don't have the technology to find that phone.
The situation in the prison, You bring in so much equipment to lock up these calls, right? A man could call a shot and a state witness. You understand? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And this morning when Mr. Gary Aboud was bringing it up, Wendell Stephen bring it into politics, but he was just stating facts. But there are certain people don't like to hear facts. They don't.
True. Exactly.
When the first thing they say, well, others do it, so that's why it's okay for we to do it.
A little bit from the program, but all that is like.
No, I have to stray. I am telling you, I'm angry. I am very, very angry, so I'm going to stray. I don't care who say what.
Exactly.
I am very angry.
I agree with you.
I am very angry. I can't even read the articles that are written about it. I'm angry. It hurts.
Exactly.
Right? So, and if I cannot voice my opinion, well, shut me up.
Imagine you have to raise funds. A man had to raise funds to get gas to search for the men, and when he did, he was able to get to because.
I cannot understand why somebody couldn't go down there and send a tanker and say, all the gas, all you want, take it and go.
Exactly, because...
Don't tell me you don't have the power for that. The Minister of Energy or the Minister of whoever can do that. I am sending a tanker. Take it out of my bloody salary. Why, $10,000, no problem. It's people life you're talking about. If you want to charge me as a minister, take it out my salary, but I sending that there.
True, I agree with you.
I am sending that there.
That should have been done the next day. You understand?
That should have been done immediately. Nobody, it ain't take no mathematics to work that out. It's lives you're talking about.
Right.
I call in all the vessels, come take gas and go.
And the chopper wasn't even available.
No, nothing was available.
Or imagine
show me a flight plan. Somebody should ask the minister, show me a flight plan.
All right, take care and keep up the good.
But we need to get angry.
Exactly, I agree with you.
We need to get angry about that situation. It's lives we're talking about. It ain't no Indian life and Chinese life and white life, and it's lives. Trinidadian lives.
Exactly. You understand?
Yes. Thank you.
Shame in that situation.
Bloody shame.
Take care.
Okay, family. Thanks for calling as always. Oh, okay, my brother. Mm-hmm.
So we have reached the end of our program because like I said, I had a hectic day. I have to thank all my supporters again. Mr. Devant Maharaj, thank you very much for what you have done. Fortis Chambers, Mr. Jagdev Singh, Kyle Taklal Singh, Dinesh Rambali, and Miss Karina Singh, thank you very much.
Beautiful.
And Mr. Shiva Gobind for your support.
Beautiful results, man.
Yes. Good night.
You've been listening to Sexplosion on